This is the story of the three little pigs for Mason Maris from Nonna, who loves him very much. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs who lived in a town on the edge of the forest. One day their mamma said to them, "Now, little pigs, you've grown up now, and it's time that you went out into the world and you built a house of your own. But," she said, "make sure you build a big strong house, because there is a wolf that lurks in the forest." So off the little pigs went to look for some bricks, because they knew that bricks would build a strong house. On the way, they passed a man carrying a wheelbarrow of straw. "Oh," one of the little pigs said, "I don't need to keep looking for bricks. I think I'll just make my house out of straw, and then I can have a nice rest in the afternoon." And that's exactly what he did. But before long, there was a knock at the door, and the little pig said, "Who's that?" And the big bad wolf said, little pig, let me in." And the little pig said, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." And the big bad wolf said, "Well, I'm going to huff and puff, and I'm going to blow your house down." "Oh dear," said the little pig. And the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew that little pig's straw house down. "Oh, goodness me," the little pig said, and he ran as fast as he could and hid in the forest. Meanwhile, the other little pigs were walking along the road, and one of them came across a man with a wheelbarrow full of sticks, and he thought, "Oh, I don't need to go any further. I'm going to build my house of sticks, and then I can have a rest." So that's what he did. He was lying on the bed having a little rest, and he heard a knock at the door. "Who's there?" he said. "It's the big bad wolf." "Oh," said the little pig. And the big bad wolf said, little pig, let me in." "Oh, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," he said. And the big bad wolf said, "Well, I'm going to huff, and I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew that little pig's house of sticks all in on the floor. And there was the little pig standing there, and he turned around as quickly as he could, and he ran off and hid in the forest. So there was one little pig left, and he kept on walking until he found a man with bricks for sale. "I'm going to build my house out of bricks," he said. And it took him a little while, but when he was finished he was very happy, because it was a very strong house. And he sat down to have some dinner, and there was a knock at the door. "Who's there?" he said. "It's the big bad wolf." "Oh, well," this little pig wasn't frightened. "And what do you want?" And the big bad wolf said, "I'm going to huff, and I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew, and he huffed, and he puffed. Oh, but he could not blow that little pig's strong brick house down. He was very annoyed. "I know what I'll do," the wolf thought. So he climbed up on the roof, where the little pig had built a chimney. But the little pig heard him clomp, clomp, clomp on the roof, and he set a big pot of boiling hot water underneath the chimney. And when that big bad wolf came down the chimney, plop, his bottom went into the big pot of hot water. "Oh," he said, and he jumped up and he ran through the front door and ran into the forest. And the little pig shut the door and thought, well, good riddance to him. The next minute there was a knock at the door, and the little pig said, "Who's there?" And two little voices said, little pig, It's your brothers. We've been hiding in the forest because the big bad wolf blew down our houses. Can we come and live in your big strong house? Of course you can, he said. So he opened the door and let them in, and the three little pigs lived happily ever after in the big strong brick house. So now it's time for you, Mason, to go to sleep, and remember that Nonna loves you with all her heart, and more than all the stars in the sky and the trees in the forest and the bricks in the house. So good night, my darling.